Number 10. Parts of your brain start falling asleep while you're still awake. This is the kind of fact that sounds like it came from a sleep paralysis demon with a medical degree. When you don't sleep enough, you don't always go from fully awake to fully asleep like flipping a light switch. Sometimes tiny parts of your brain can start acting sleepy while the rest of you is technically still awake. That means you can be sitting in class, standing at work, or driving home, and your brain is not fully offline. But little pieces of it are quietly clocking out. Very professional. Very terrifying. This is connected to something called local sleep and microsleeps. A microsleep is a tiny burst of sleep that can last just a few seconds. Sometimes your eyes close. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you don't even realize it happened. Your body is basically doing a forced system update while you're still using the computer. That is why sleep deprivation can be so dangerous. It's not just, I feel sleepy. It's, a few workers in the brain factory have left their stations and nobody told management. 1 second you're reading a sentence. The next second the words turn into soup. You blink and suddenly you missed an entire paragraph, a red light, or the last 10 seconds of someone talking. And then you do the classic tired person move. You pretend you heard everything. Yeah, totally. You heard nothing. Your brain was taking an unauthorized nap. Number 9, your memories don't get filed correctly. Sleep is not just your body lying down and being dramatic for 8 hours. Your brain is actually busy at night. It sorts information, strengthens memories, connects ideas, moves important stuff from short-term storage into longer-term storage. Basically, sleep is the brain's night shift librarian. And when you don't sleep, that librarian does not show up. So now everything you learned is just scattered around the floor. Names, facts, homework, directions, what you were supposed to buy at the store, all floating around like loose papers in a wind tunnel. That is why pulling an all-nighter can feel productive, but secretly betray you. You spend the whole night studying, highlighting, rereading, whispering, I got this. Then the test starts, and your brain says, we remember seeing this information, but unfortunately we never filed it. Great. Very helpful. Sleep helps lock in both facts and skills. So if you practice something like math, soccer, piano, or even a new route somewhere, sleep helps your brain stabilize that learning. Without sleep, you can still force information in, but it's like saving a file while the computer battery is at 1%. Maybe it works. Maybe it disappears forever. Good luck. Number 8, your brain starts craving junk like it's making a survival movie. Lack of sleep does not just make you tired, it can make your appetite weirdly dramatic. After poor sleep, the brain often wants fast energy, not a balanced meal, not a calm salad. It wants sugar, salt, fat, and whatever food looks like it could solve emotional damage in under 5 minutes. Suddenly chips look important, cookies look logical. A gas station snack aisle starts feeling like a spiritual calling. Part of this comes from hunger hormones. Sleep loss can mess with signals like leptin and ghrelin, which help regulate fullness and hunger. So your body may feel hungrier, less satisfied, and more interested in high-calorie food. Basically, your stomach becomes a lobbyist, and the brain's reward system gets louder too. So the food doesn't just look good, it looks necessary. You're not saying, I would enjoy fries. You're saying, if I do not get fries, society may collapse. That is why tired people snack like raccoons with credit cards. It is not always a willpower issue. Sometimes your sleep-deprived brain is trying to solve exhaustion with nachos, which is understandable. Wrong, but understandable. Number 7, your emotions lose their volume control. When you miss sleep, emotions can get louder. Small problems feel bigger. Minor comments feel personal. A normal inconvenience becomes a full character development scene. Someone says, hey, can you move your bag? And your brain says, interesting. Betrayal. Sleep helps the brain regulate emotion. Without enough of it, the emotional parts of the brain can become more reactive, while the thinking control parts are less helpful. So the system that normally says, calm down, this is not a national emergency, is now half asleep in the corner. That is how you end up angry at a spoon, or almost crying because your phone charger fell behind the bed, or taking a text message personally because it ended with a period. Okay, what does that mean? Are they mad? Do they hate me? Should I move countries? No, you're just tired. The problem is sleep deprivation makes your brain worse at sorting real threats from mildly annoying nonsense. Everything feels closer to the edge, your patience gets thinner, your face becomes more expressive in the worst way. And now everyone around you is walking carefully because one wrong sound might activate the tired goblin. The tired goblin is not evil. It just needed sleep 6 hours ago. Number 6, your reaction time starts acting drunk. This one is scary because it does not always feel scary. You may think you're fine, you're awake, you can talk, you can walk, you can even say the classic sentence, I'm good, I just need coffee. Famous last words of a person about to make a terrible decision. After enough time awake, performance can become similar to being impaired by alcohol. Your reaction time slows, your attention drops. Your brain takes longer to notice things and longer to respond. That matters because life is full of tiny moments where a delay is a big deal. A car breaks, a ball comes at your face, a person steps into the road, someone says something important and you respond 3 seconds too late like an NPC loading dialogue. And the worst part is that tired people are bad at judging how tired they are. Your brain is the broken machine and the inspector. Not ideal. So you might feel a little sleepy, but your performance is already falling apart behind the scenes. It's like your brain lowered the graphics settings to survive. Still running. Barely. A well-rested brain reacts. A sleep-deprived brain receives a message, opens it slowly, forgets why it opened it, then responds after the danger has already moved in. Number 5, your immune system gets less convincing. When people talk about sleep, they usually make it sound like a productivity tool. Sleep more so you can study. Sleep more so you can work. Sleep more so you can wake up and continue being useful to the economy. Very inspiring. But sleep is also tied to your immune system. When you don't sleep enough, your immune response can become weaker or less organized. Your body is still trying to defend you, but now the security team is understaffed and the night guard is eating cereal in the lobby. This is why bad sleep can make you more vulnerable to getting sick or make recovery feel slower. Your immune system needs energy, timing, and coordination. Sleep helps with that. Without it, your body is basically trying to run defense while the coach is missing. There's also research showing that people who sleep less around vaccination can have a weaker antibody response, which is wild. Your body gets the training manual for fighting a virus, but if you're underslept, it reads it like a student skimming the chapter 5 minutes before class. Yeah, antibodies invaders got it. Now, body, please read carefully. This is important. Sleep does not make you invincible, but skipping it can make your immune system less ready for the nonsense trying to enter your body. And there's always nonsense trying to enter your body. Humans are disgusting. Number 4, your blood sugar control gets worse. This one is weird because you can eat the same food, but your body may handle it worse after bad sleep. Sleep loss can make your body less sensitive to insulin, which is the hormone that helps move sugar from your blood into your cells. So after poor sleep, the same meal can hit differently. Your body's like, I remember how to process this, but today I'm doing it badly. Very reassuring. This is one reason bad sleep can leave you feeling foggy, hungry, crashy, or weird after eating. Your energy system is not running smoothly. It's coughing, blinking warning lights, and pretending everything is fine. And this can happen faster than people expect. It's not only after years of terrible sleep, even short-term sleep restriction can mess with insulin sensitivity, which is rude. One bad week of sleep and your metabolism starts acting like it received confusing instructions from corporate. This is why I'll just sleep less and push through is not a great long-term plan. Your brain may tolerate the motivational speech. Your body does not care. It wants sleep. If it does not get sleep, it starts filing complaints through hormones. And hormones are terrible communicators. They never send emails. They just make you feel awful and let you guess why. Number 3, your internal thermostat starts getting weird. Sleep and body temperature are connected in a way most people never think about. To fall asleep normally, your body does a temperature shift. Your core temperature starts to drop. Heat moves toward the skin, especially the hands and feet. That cooling process helps tell your brain, all right, it's night, shut things down. But when you don't sleep enough, that temperature system can get messy. Your body may have a harder time regulating heat and cold. You might feel weirdly chilly, or overheated, or uncomfortable for no obvious reason. The room feels wrong. The blanket feels wrong. One leg is outside the blanket, trying to negotiate peace. This is not just you being dramatic. Your sleep and circadian rhythm help organize body temperature. When sleep gets disrupted, the thermostat can act like a cheap apartment heater. Too hot, too cold, somehow both. And this also feeds back into sleep. Because if your temperature is off, it can be harder to sleep well. And bad sleep makes the temperature rhythm worse. Then worse temperature rhythm makes sleep worse. A beautiful little circle of suffering. That's why tired people sometimes look like they are losing a battle with a blanket. They are. Number 2, your decision-making becomes dangerously confident. One of the most annoying things about sleep deprivation is that it does not always make you feel obviously broken. Sometimes it makes you feel weirdly bold. You start making decisions with the calm confidence of someone who should not be trusted with scissors. Send the text. Buy the thing. Start the argument. Drive even though you're exhausted. Eat the whole meal standing in front of the fridge. Apply for something at 2 a.m. with a cover letter written by a ghost. A tired brain is worse at weighing consequences, controlling impulses, and thinking through long-term outcomes. The prefrontal cortex, the part involved in planning and self-control, does not perform at its best when sleep deprived. So the brain's responsible adult leaves early. And now the raccoon is in charge. The raccoon wants snacks, revenge, and online shopping. This is why sleep on it is actually good advice. Not because sleep magically solves every problem, but because the version of you at 1 a.m. after 4 hours of sleep is not always the best committee chairman. That version of you thinks, this is definitely a good idea. Morning you often disagrees. Morning you opens the messages, checks the cart, sees the argument, and whispers, who authorized this? The answer is no one. The raccoon did. Number 1. After extreme sleep loss, reality can start glitching. This is the horror movie part. If someone goes long enough without sleep, the problem can go way beyond yawning and bad mood. People can start experiencing illusions, visual distortions, paranoia, and hallucinations. At first it might be small. Shapes in the corner of your eye, shadows moving, sounds feeling strange, your brain misreading the world like a bad security camera. Then, with more extreme sleep loss, it can become more intense. People have reported seeing things that are not there, hearing things, feeling detached from reality, or becoming confused in ways that look almost like psychosis. That does not mean one bad night will make you see dragons. Relax. But it does show how much your brain depends on sleep to keep reality organized. Sleep is not just rest, it is maintenance for perception. Without it, the brain starts losing its ability to separate signal from noise. It begins guessing badly. And when the brain guesses badly, the corner of your room becomes suspicious. This is why extreme sleep deprivation has been used as torture. Not because it is mildly inconvenient, because it can break down attention, mood, memory, judgment, and eventually your grip on what is real. That is a very serious feature for something people casually skip to finish one more episode. The body is not being dramatic about sleep. It is protecting the entire operating system. So yes, when you don't sleep, you don't just feel tired. Your brain can start taking tiny naps while you're awake. Your memories don't get filed. Your hunger gets weird. Your mood loses the volume knob. Your reaction time starts acting drunk. Your immune system gets sloppy. Your blood sugar control gets worse. Your thermostat malfunctions. Your decision-making hands the keys to a raccoon. And if you push it far enough, reality itself can start buffering. Sleep is not laziness. It is your body's nightly attempt to stop you from becoming a confused, angry, hallucinating raccoon with a low battery. Subscribe before your brain starts closing tabs without permission.